the psychology behind people who don't talk too much.
There are people that only speak when it is absolutely needed. These people do not talk as much as they listen. They observe rather than react, and they usually let others wonder what they are thinking. Their silence is not void. It is their way of communication. Knowing the psychology of quiet people helps to know how they think, behave, and relate to the world. Mostly quiet people are wrongly judged. Most of them being just selective with their energy, they may be perceived as shy, unenthusiastic, or distant. But actually, these are the people who think of their words before they speak. Silence helps them sort out what counts from what doesn't and process their ideas. Psychologists refer to this quality as low verbal expressiveness, which denotes not a lack of intelligence or confidence. This implies they would rather reflect than react. Before transforming it into speech, their brains evaluate the data through an inner debate. Their inclination enables them to make better judgments and more precise observations. Quiet people frequently examine group dynamics before speaking up when they join a chat. They search for emotional signals, intention, and tone. They already have a better knowledge of the circumstances than most people do when they finally choose to speak. Even if they utter little, this gives their words more heft. Their quietness is not out of shyness, but it is a tactical move. They hold back their words, thereby choosing correctness over recognition. Most of them exhibit introverted characteristics, one of which is directing their energy inward rather than outward. As they register more stimuli per second, large social settings can drain them. They withdraw and get their batteries recharged through solitude or concentrated work to preserve their mental health. Their way of communication is different too. They depend on body language, facial expressions, and minor gestures, instead of uninterrupted spoken words. A nod or a brief eye contact can express what others need several pages to explain. Their relationships are also influenced by their listening behaviors. They detect changes in tone or mood and recall little things others miss. Although they might not talk much, they usually focus on what counts most when they do. Over time, this quality frequently forges closer, more honest relationships. From a behavioral perspective, fewer talkers save mental energy. Speaking calls for regular self-monitoring and mental organization. Choosing silence helps people maintain mental focus for important events. Their ability to work quickly enables them to think straight under pressure and handle stress more effectively. However, their careful behavior could be sometimes seen as the lack of connection with emotions. A great number of shy folks are irritated at the fact that when they quiet themselves, people think that they are indifferent, and this is a way of misunderstanding their apathy. They feel emotions very intense, but decide not to reveal them straight away. They would rather handle their emotions privately before sharing them with others. Quietness can also point to excellent self-control. Those who talk less often tend to have good impulse control. They try to resist the urge to explode, argue, or cut off. If they happen to communicate, they listen very attentively, and therefore most people feel that they have really been understood. This is a skill which is sometimes mistaken for being just nice, but in fact, it comes from being really focused. They often act as onlookers in group settings. They provide insights at key points and synthesize data rather than dominating conversations. This pattern usually shows them as dependable problem solvers who speak up when their opinion is most important. Research, design, analysis, and writing, fields that demand attention and original thought, are also ones in which quiet people flourish. Their inclination toward isolation lets them focus without continuous interruption. This was a common attitude among many historical intellectuals and scientists. Their creativity stemmed from calm, observant thinking. Still, silence poses problems. People who rarely speak may struggle to be heard in environments where being visible is highly valued. If they are not regularly shared, their thoughts could be forgotten. This shows variances in communication culture rather than a lack of value. Quiet individuals may need to adapt in situations where confidence is equated with speech by preparing concise, impactful comments to ensure their ideas are heard. Their deliberate approach to communication sometimes fosters a greater reputation over time. They talk less, therefore their statements carry weight. Others discovered that they contribute since they have something significant to contribute. This dependability increases both personal trust and professional respect. Psychologically speaking, several elements, including temperament, upbringing, or situational background, can explain why people could talk less. Children reared in observant or analytical environments usually develop into adults who process calmly. Others learn this behavior from situations in which speaking too soon caused disagreement or confusion. Biologically, variations in dopamine sensitivity can explain individual differences. Those people who are less sensitive to dopamine typically do not enjoy receiving constant stimulation and social interactions. They would not get excited and loud, but instead they would choose to live a life of introspection and stability. So the question is, what is your style? The one that is predominant in talking, or the one that is quietly observing? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe for more videos on human behavior and psychology.